Welcome to the 10th episode of the Eye on Asia podcast. I'm Lei and I'm recording here in Manila with Joko to deliver the latest market research news and trends in Asia.
Hello! Wow! Releasing our 10th episode is another milestone for us. Later, we'll be interviewing a member from dataSpring's operations team. That's something to look forward to. Let's get this show started and talk about the latest Asian news feature. For our news feature of the day, let's discuss inflation, one of the most pressing issues in the global economy. Do you think inflation has gone worse this year, Lei?
Of course, there's been a lot of news in the Philippines about the rising prices of goods due to dwindling supply. For example, the price of sugar suddenly spiked during the past few days, and the lower supply is threatening the production of soft drinks in the country.
That's right. Inflation is making life more difficult for us, adding to the problems brought by the pandemic. That's why one Southeast Asian country declared a jihad or holy war against inflation. On June 29, the Malaysian government set up the Special Task Force on Jihad Against Inflation to help Malaysians deal with the rising costs of living. The task force is chaired by Communications and Multimedia Minister Tan Sri Anwar Musa, and the team is composed of leaders from different relevant Malaysian government ministries, like the agriculture and food industries and domestic trade and consumer affairs. The Jihad Against Inflation was developed in response to 3.4% inflation in the country between June 2021 and June 2022.
That's a very striking name for a task force. So, what have they done since forming?
The task force is determined to control and keep the country's inflation and food prices at low rates. For example, one of the latest efforts they have done is publishing the maximum retail prices for palm cooking oil that is sold in bottles. This decision was done due to the reluctance of bottled cooking oil producers to reduce product prices despite the lowering of palm oil prices. Malaysia's current laws enable the Domestic Trade and Consumer Affairs Ministry to gazette the maximum retail prices of certain essential items. Aside from publishing maximum prices for goods, the task force also provides subsidies to consumers as well as monitor and carry out enforcement activities through relevant government ministries to make sure that prices remain low and that domestic food supply remains stable.
I see. It's great that the Malaysian government has taken the initiative to combat inflation directly. I just hope other governments can take similar steps to ease the lives of regular people. Inflation is no joke these days.
We'd like to ask our listeners about this initiative from the Malaysian government. What other steps can be taken to address inflation? Tell us your thoughts on DataSpring's social media. Did you know the second most productive day for Southeast Asians is Sunday? When we start our week, we go through the process of catching up on what we have missed from the previous week, and we can plan to achieve for the week ahead of us. Of course, we want our week ahead to be productive, but the reality is we don't perform with constant intensity every day. After starting the week, the amount of work getting done is not the same as we lose momentum day by day. So we asked our Southeast Asian panel what day is their most productive day in the week. Here are their answers. The most productive day for our panel is Monday, followed by Sunday. It looks like Southeast Asians spend their weekends planning for the following week to get a head start. Get to know more about people in Asia with DataSpring. Previously, we invited the leaders of our panel team to talk about how they acquire and curate panelists across the Asian region. For our current interview with the Springer segment, we would like to introduce our listeners to DataSpring's operations team, which serves as the backbone of the company.
Our seventh guest will be here to discuss how the operations team works on the studies and help complete projects. Let's all welcome DataSpring Senior Manager for U.S. Client Services and Operations, Des Frivaldo, and DataSpring's Associate Manager for Asia Pacific Client Services and Operations, Mariella Cruz.
Hi, thank you for the invite, Choco and Lay. We're excited to talk to you today. Hi everyone, thank you for having us. It's our pleasure to be here in Ion Asia.
Welcome to the Ion Asia podcast, Des and Mariella. Thank you for joining us today. We'd like to know more about how dataSpring's operations team, operates.
Now, for our first question, how does the operations team support research projects?
The operations team is actually based in Manila and we handle a wide array of projects from clients all over the world. We cater to full service and sample only projects hosted through our proprietary platform. So, full service actually covers questionnaire review, translation, scripting, fieldwork, data processing, and tabulation, while sample only, on the other hand, is more focused on distributing online questionnaires to our panels. Currently, we cover 12 Asian markets in house, and we have a wide network of suppliers who have undergone our vetting process for the rest of the markets.
That sounds really interesting, Mariella. Thank you so much. Now, what research methodologies are usually asked from the team?
Yeah, so like what Marielle mentioned, we support a wide array of research projects. Of course, there's quant and qualitative, or a mix of both. We program and run online surveys, which can be an ad hoc or a tracking studies, which enables the clients really to collect information over time and identify the trends in the market. Also, we do recruitment for IHOT or in-home use test, facial coding, cookie flagging, bulletin boards, and online communities. Also, because of the pandemic, there was a spike in the demand for online interviews like focus group discussions or in-depth interviews. So a lot of our clients initially struggled because they couldn't do interviews face to face because of the COVID restrictions, especially in Asia. It's so much stricter here. And then we saw a shift. Clients realized that it's very feasible to conduct interviews in an online space, not to mention that it's so much more cost effective compared to doing offline because one, you don't have to worry yourself about renting a physical room anymore to conduct the interviews, and another, participants can participate from different areas. So it's wide ranging and very cost effective for them.
You mentioned earlier that the clients have become more interested in online surveys during the pandemic. How convenient is setting up online surveys versus offline or on site surveys, especially in Asia?
Oh, yeah. It's very convenient compared to offline or on-site surveys, of course. Doing it online means faster delivery, faster turnaround, which means clients will be able to decide faster for their brands and businesses, right? And compared to offline, quality is more guaranteed in online because DataSpring works very hard in order to maintain a high quality of panelists across Asia.
Now, what sets DataSpring's operations team apart from the competition?
Have a very proactive set of project managers. They've handled various projects in the past, from regular online surveys to irregular surveys such as IHOTS. And this experience allows our project managers to deliver more quality insights to the client, and they can be your consultants for your specific projects.
That's a great thing for our clients to know and hear. Thank you for sharing that. Before we end our interview, would both of you like to send a shout out or closing message to our listeners?
Thanks for having us. Our team is excited to build great things together with our clients.
I'd also like to give a big shout out to my team, our US Client Services and Operations, and everyone in the Manila office. And of course, to all our clients who always give us their unwavering trust and confidence. Thank you, everyone. And I'd also like to take this opportunity to invite those who will be attending the SMR Congress. So DataSpring will be there. We'll be in the conference in Toronto, Canada this coming September 18 to 21. We will be putting up a booth. We're booth number 44B, and I hope you guys can drop by and say hi. Yeah, I guess that's it. Thanks again, Joko and Lay, for having me and Mariella here today. It was so nice talking to you both.
Thank you for answering our questions, Des and Mariella. Now we have an idea of how the operations team supports client projects. For everyone who has specific market research needs that need to be addressed quickly, DataSpring's operations team is available 24/7 to serve you.
Thanks, Des and Mariella. If you want to know more about DataSpring, you can contact us through our email contact@dataspring.com. For panel inquiries, you can contact them through services@dataspring.com. You can also visit our website, dataspring.com. That's DASPRING.com. Our sales teams are available 24/7 to answer all your questions. You can also check out our social media for our latest updates. Just type in DataSpring in the search bars on LinkedIn, Facebook, and Twitter.
That's it for episode 10. We hope you learned something new and interesting about DataSpring and market research in Asia. Keep posted for our next episode next month. Bye!